Hi there, this is MC Moore, and while this is typically a fighting game channel, Ninja Gaiden 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I've beaten it so many times on Master Ninja, all of the different versions. I had already made a guide on how you can get better at the game. I made a weapons tier list where I also explained some of the utility of each of the different weapons, but one of the areas where I feel like the series was always kind of mid at, if I'm being completely honest, are the boss fights, because they break the tempo of the game completely. While typically the game wants you to play very aggressively, you have to rush down, keep attacking. If you do that in a boss fight, you're gonna get wrecked. Bosses want you to play their own game. So today we're gonna go through each of the different bosses. I'm gonna talk about the strategies that you wanna use, and these are my experiences, and I'm gonna try to keep it accessible as well. There's a lot of depth, a lot of technicality on what you can do, but I wanna keep it accessible, something that the normal player will be able to do. So let's not waste any time and get straight into it. Starting first with the big spider guy, and this is a very easy boss, one of the easiest in the game actually, but because he's your first boss, you might struggle against him a little bit. You wanna maintain mid-range against him. He have a number of moves you wanna make him whiff and then attack him with, punish him if you say so. And the best weapon to do this at that point is gonna be like the dragon sword. I'm gonna keep it relevant to the story progression. Just punish him with triangle. He does have a couple of moves, like the one where he flips and then he will do like two punches that you can punish. He have two grabs, two-handed one and a single-handed one. You can punish them as well. And he does have a slash where he's like attacking with two of his spider arms. This is also one thing that you can dodge and punish. It's very simple. You want to play him a little bit defensive, make him whiff, punish him. Don't go for a triple triangle combo with the dragon sword because you are open to getting punished at that point. Just keep it short, two triangles, you're getting decent damage. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's safe. This is a very safe way to deal with this boss. Next up we got Genshin, and Genshin is a boss that you will fight multiple times throughout the story, but the strategy never really changed that much. What I'm about to tell you will work all the way until you fight the Fiend Genshin. And the good thing about this boss is he's a human enemy, so you can Izuna drop him. Use a lunar staff. At that point it is the best weapon against him. If he does his flying swallow, you can dash out of the block stun and then get a punish on him. If he does his dash, make sure that you dodge it with a dodge and then get a punish on him. His combos also, if he happen to whip the final hit, you wanna maintain a mid-range distance against this guy because it triggers him to go for his flying swallow and his dashes, both of which if you happen to make him whiff, you can Izuna drop punish him, dealing good damage to him. He also have a Nimbo attack that can be hard to dodge, so if you're not aware or if you don't get the timing down, use a Nimbo of your own or use an ultimate technique for iframes so you're able to go through that attack. But otherwise, once you get to know the tricks, Genshin is honestly like a very easy boss, all things considered, in my opinion. Next up we got the Megalo Disc Flyer, and this boss is also like very easy. You're just gonna wanna spam your arrow attacks against it. It can have some tricky attacks, but the idea is you wanna stay behind it as much as possible. So when it's approaching you, you have to run to the other side so that you're behind it. It will not turn back to like face you until it's at the end of the corridor, so that gives you a lot of time to shoot it, rinse and repeat until it's done. Very easy boss, all things considered. Next up we got the big troll brown guy, and this guy is very easy to deal with. Just get at his feet and keep slashing. Again, with a dragon sword it's better to just use triangle. Everything he will do at that point you can block and then dash out, block, rinse and repeat. He can't grab you, he can't use like a projectile attack at you from the distance. If you went for a triple triangle, again you might get hit, so keep it to only like the two hitting combo. Will take a little bit, but it's very safe strategy, works against him. And get ready to listen to this a lot because it will apply to many of the upcoming bosses. And then we move into Alexi, and Alexi is one of the greater fiends, and I do think he is the biggest challenge that you will face up to that point. He can be difficult. You don't want to stay too far away from Alexi because then he will fly up and start shooting these insanely fast lightning projectiles at you, which are really difficult to dodge, so you want to maintain a mid-range distance. I would also recommend using the lunar staff against him. I do think it is your best shot at that point. and you would want to use the square triangle combo because it will hit him out of his grab attempts, and it does like stun him a little bit. So that could be good because bosses are unpredictable and sometimes they cancel their recovery frames. Anyways, he does have a couple of attacks that are punishable, like his tornado spin, dodge to whatever direction and then get a punish. Also got good range, so it gives you like good punish windows. The spin, you could punish it. Many of his like melee combos, if he happen to whiff, you can get a punish on him. Midway through, he would activate like a power up mode where his flying swallow type dive kick become doubled, but the spin doesn't change, so you can just once again dodge and get a punish on him. So next up we get to play the Momiji chapter, and Momiji got the Tengu bosses, as there is the blue guy and there is the red guy, and these are simple bosses really. They got very few attacks. Pretty much you want to stand close to the proximity and block. They're gonna do like a 3-hit combo, and you want to dodge the 3rd hit and get a punish on him. Against the blue guy you want to use square triangle. Against the red guy it is just square. When they do their hop things, block and then dash up, and you'll be able to get like a hit in against him. Also, when you're fighting both of them, you want to keep it a 1v1 fight for the most part. So when you're fighting the double Tengu brothers, one thing you can do that's really cool is, say, target the red one, right, and position the camera so that the blue Tengu is off screen, and if you do that it will not attack you. So then you can just fight the red guy, get him down, beat him, and then move on to the next one. Positioning the camera is honestly the most important thing in this fight because it can turn it from like a double battle into a 1v1, which makes it a significantly easier boss. But once you are up close, just dodge the combos and get the punish. Again, square triangle for the blue, square for the red. If they're doing their nimbo, just back away a little bit and then come back in after they're finished their spill animation. And that's pretty much it. Very easy boss, all things considered. Next up, the Skull Dinosaur, and just like the big brown guy troll, this is the same strategy. Just stay at his feet and hit him. I like using the Lunar here because its jumping attacks got a lot of vertical range, and you want to hit him at his chest because this is what will do a lot of damage. So if you attack him and just go for a lot of vertical attacks, you can stun him, and when he sits down, then you will want to get in between his legs, which is kind of funny, and then like use your vertical attacks to get a lot of damage. Also, you can use the Void Nimbu and manually target his chest, and if you do that, it will knock him down, again giving you a chance to deal a lot of damage. Stay at his feet and keep smacking it until he goes down. Next up we got Volf, which I do think in this version is probably the easiest greater fiend to fight. You want to maintain a close distance against him. If you give him range, I do think some of his attacks can be hard to deal with, so we're staying up close and we're picking up the dragon sword for this one. I think you should have it at level 3 at that point if you are using your essence right. Anyways, he does have a couple of moves that are punishable, like the one where he does a spin and then does a slam on the ground. Wait until he goes for the slam, dodge it, get a punish on him, and sometimes he will armor through your punishes and he will knock you down. This doesn't like hit you, this doesn't give you like any damage, so that's fine. After like you get knocked down, he will do 2 slashes, dodge, and repeat it again. He also have like a hug grab where he will try to attempt to grab you. That's what he does when you're up close, so if you happen to dodge it, it gives you like a big punish window. Volf is easy, it can take you a little bit of practice to get to know like the timing of his moves, but once you know the patterns, once you're able to identify his attacks, I do think he is by far the easiest greater fiend. What do you guys think? You're convinced? I hope so. If you like the video but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Over 70% of my viewers aren't, so you get to see more of me and my friends, the EX-Men. And yes, like in my canon, Magneto is I recruited him. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. Next up we got Marbous, which is a rebeat from a Ninja Gaiden 1 boss actually, and it's kind of like the same strategy as it was in that game. He will summon minions and you want to take them out as soon as possible because that makes the fight considerably easier. So use your ultimate techniques, use your Nimbo if you have to, just get rid of them. So how to damage this guy is very simple. You will want to maintain a distance, maybe dodge his projectiles if he throws them at you. he will spread his wings and then he will go for a dive at you. You wanna dodge it, and when you dodge it, he will just sit there on the ground in a kneeling position, and that's when you get to wail at him. Square, square, triangle with Rachel is pretty good. One thing that is important is that you want to attack him from behind. You want to get behind him. If you're at his side, he can wake up and grab you, and this will deal a lot of damage, so be careful of that. You want to get behind him when he's kneeled and get a punish on him. The minions don't respawn infinitely, so make sure you're taking them out first. And he also, like, you happen to fight him again as Ryu, and it's exact same strategy. Next boss is the fire armadillo, and look at it, a big boss. You want to stand near its feet and keep slamming it to death. It's the same thing. The thing with this one though is you want to stand in between its front and back leg. Don't stay too close near to the back because it does like this turning over attacks that can be hard to block. And also don't overcommit. I do like to use the lunar staff against this one as well because it got, like I said, vertical hitbox attacks that are really fast. So stay near its feet and keep hitting it. Another easy guy, and you want to stay up close. If you give him distance, he will start to roll, which can be hard to deal with, so yeah, keep near his feet. Next up we got the Evil Witch, and this one you fight with Ayane, and she does have very simple patterns. There is a far range grab. You don't want to give her too much distance because then she will fire like a projectile attack at you, which is annoying, so keep up close. She does have a 3-hit combo, dodge, and then get a punch on her. Another one which she does like a spinny spin, and this one also block and then dash out of your block and punish her with a square square combo. She does use like a flip thing whenever she wanna adjust, and this one does very big splash damage, so don't go near her like bottom ball thing whenever she does that. Maintain your distance. Ayane got a long range dash, so wait until she flips and then attack her. She also have like a far range command grab that is really fast, so if she does, but does have like a lot of wind up, but this one leaves her open to attacks. It's a very simple boss. It's honestly like the easiest thing in the Ayane chapter. Alright, now it's time for Zedonius, and Zedonius is a problem. This boss is difficult in my opinion, and by far the hardest thing about him is his splash thing, where he does like he goes up in the air and then comes down. It's very difficult to dodge this one. The window for the dodge is very tight, so you will want to use an invincible move to get out of the way most of the time, or just block and take the chip damage. What I like to do with him is to pick the tonfas, because tonfas give you a lot of iframes, because even if he goes down and you start attacking him, even if you're behind him, he can still grab you, unlike the other dude, so that is kind of annoying. Tonfas are really good. You want to maintain some distance from him and force him to use his projectile. If he goes for the laser beam, then that one is really good because you can then get next to him and punish him. The good thing about the tonfas is you can dash out of your moves, and this dash gives you iframe. I give you ability to dodge. He got a grab up close as well, which can be punishable. I think ever since Sigma they gave him like the ability to use projectiles from close range, and the closer you are to him, the harder they are to dodge, so I don't like staying too close to him. And tonfas are also really good against the mobs because their ultimate techniques can deal a lot of damage and get rid of them very easily. Against this fight, I would 100% recommend the tonfas, but yeah, Zedonius by himself not too bad, but that splash along with the mobs can make him like a really annoying boss to deal with. Next up there is a black dragon, and this is just another boss, big body boss that you want to stay near its feet and just keep smacking it. If you give him a little bit of distance, he is annoying because he does have a charge move that is really hard to dodge. He also got like projectiles. He does have his splash, kind of like Zedonius, with a lot of delays that can make it kind of hard to deal with. So you want to stay to its side, between its feet, and keep smacking it. I like the dragon sword. I like using triangle. Don't stay directly behind it because it got a tail attack that will knock you down and is really fast. It can get to try to use like an attack that spawn like lava underneath you, so if she does that, make sure that you avoid, get to the other side and attack. Just like the armadillo, just like all of the other giant, it may try to do a spin to just readjust and get you. Again, dodge and then dash out of your dodge and maintain your position. Not a terribly difficult boss by any means, and thankfully Yeah, there's actually like one more actually. I forgot there is one more really large boss. But then we run into Elizébet. And oh my god, Elizébet is just like, oh my god, this is an this boss fight, like I've been playing this game for more than 10 years and Elizébet is just a wild boss. It still seems completely random to me at this point, but I'm gonna discuss with you what I think is the easiest strategy to use against Elizébet. So you'll want to use the Eclipse Psych, right? And preferably have it at level 3 because it deals good damage. And you will want to stay at a distance where you're at like the mid-range, just like what we did with Genshin and Alexi, and she does have a dash attack. And you want to dodge and then use the triangle combo. If Elizébet stays grounded, she will get hit. For some reason, she can dodge out of this attack, but if she decided to be airborne after she whiffs, because Elizébet can randomly cancel her recovery frames or even cancel like the start of some of the moves into others. She's like a completely random boss, it seems like. So if she doesn't fly, the Eclipse Psych will actually hit her. But if she does, don't commit to the third hit because you will get punished. So dodge the attack triangle, and then react to what she does. If she's grounded, go for the third attack. If she's not, just stand there and be ready to dodge because you will get punished if you committed to the third part. And obviously once she does like once she's in the airborne and she's going for her projectile, like the blood attack and the other one where she does like portals, make sure that you're dodging. You can try to attack her and that can down her, but also she may dodge and punish you. She's a very unpredictable boss and she's easily like the hardest boss in the game, all things considered. So you may want to use your healing items against her. Just get rid of this boss fight because she's a challenge. She's by far the most challenging boss in this game in my opinion. There is Fiend Genshin, and Fiend Genshin is very similar to regular Genshin. You can't Izuna drop him, but the Lunar still punishes him in the same way that regular Genshin get punished, but instead commit to the slam follow-up and you will do good damage to him. There is an attack where he will come down after you are trying to hit him, but again block and dodge to the side. He's not totally different from Genshin, that he's challenging, and the Lunar just works as well. Not as much as regular Genshin, but it works really good against him, does a lot of damage. Next up is Dagra Dai, and he is the first phase of the final boss. Against this one, I highly recommend you switch to the Tonfas because he does have a couple of mobs with him, and just having essence and ultimate technique against the mobs with the Tonfas can make you clear the room very easily. So you will want to take care of the mobs first, and once he is solo, I then would recommend switching back to the Dragon Sword. He does have a couple of attacks that are very straightforward. A 3-hit string where he will come down slashing with a final hit, dodge that one, and triangle will give you like a good punish on him. There is another string where he will then raise his sword and you will have electricity coming down. One thing that you can do here is try to jump attack him or just dodge if you want to play it safe. Just keep dodging until he finishes with this move. You also have like a dashing grab that have like a yellow after effect, so this one also you want to dodge to the side and get a punish on him. After a while the mobs will spawn again, and at this point I would recommend just if you have Nimbu, just use Nimbu on the mobs. You want to get rid of them quickly. He's simple, sometimes he will go airborne. Flying Swallow work really well against him as well, deals a lot of damage. He is a lot easier than Elizébet, that's for sure. He's kind of a straightforward guy. Next up we got the Archfiend, and for how much that guy is being built up, the actual fight is hilariously easy. Just pick the bow and shoot at the head. It's like auto aimed at the head anyways, and then you will notice like his chest will glow, and then shoot at that while getting hit, and otherwise he may spit blood at you, but just dodge to either side, rinse and repeat. This is a very easy boss fight, kind of ironically, to be honest. In the original Ninja Gaiden 2 it was actually a lot harder, but in this version it's a very easy boss. And then you will fight the second phase of the Archfiend, and this one is also like a very simple boss fight. You want to stand next to its left arm, right, and just keep smacking at it. It does have like a smack attack, and it might do up to 4 reps of them, so be ready, and then punish it. At that point you will have the blade of the Archfiend, so hold triangle does really good damage and very safe at that point. And then it might fly away, shoot some like projectiles at you, easy to dodge. The area you're fighting at is huge. It might do some electricity, and if it does that, this is like a big area of effect attack, so move to the other side. It may just hops onto the platform you're at and just keep smacking at its legs. Very easy boss fight for like a final boss. And yeah, at that point, congratulations, you have beaten Ninja Gaiden 2. So that's about it for this video. Honestly, outside of Elizébet, I don't think any of the bosses are terribly difficult once you know the tricks to them, but Elizébet is the real deal. This is by far, she's a gatekeeper of Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden, because Gaiden triggers people. Ninja Gaiden. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.